What's up guys, Romsicle here, back with another video. So today I'm going to be going back to my roots and reviewing another cheap mechanical keyboard. And today it's going to be the Motospeed CK888 with the mouse and keyboard combo. So you get a mechanical keyboard and a gaming mouse, all for the low price of $60. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and press that bell for notifications of future uploads. Links are going to be in the description down below if you're interested in this keyboard mouse combo. Follow me on Twitter, and with all that being said, let's get right into this box. So inside the box has the keyboard, a mouse, the manual, and the keycap puller. And we'll start off with the keyboard, then move on to the mouse. So this is what the keyboard looks like. It has an exposed layout with a traditional 104 key layout. Starting off with the top surface, we can see that the top plate is made with a thin piece of metal, resembling a piece of brushed aluminum. We can also see these screws that are visible on the top. Looks kind of distracting and gives a little steampunk vibe to the keyboard. Around the keyboard is ABS plastic to protect the fragile interior. We also have a regular USB cable connected to the back, and on the USB port we have the Motospeed logo on it. Also included is a pretty good quality Velcro strap for your cable management. On the bottom we have our anti-vibration pads along with some wedges on the top side for elevation. There aren't any pads when the feet are down, but when they're flipped up they do have some nice rubber feet. The feet are really easy to pull up, and I wish the locking was a bit sturdier because it seems like the feet could fall with a single push on the keyboard. We also have standard keycaps with the generic gaming font as seen in many low-price mechanical keyboards. These are not double-shot keycaps, but they do have a thin coating at the top of the keys to provide consistent lighting from the LEDs to the keycaps, so I guess you could say they're discount double-shot. Underneath the keycaps are Otemu Blue switches with MX Blue switch properties. It's a tactile switch, so you'll hear and feel the click every time your key activates. And mounted underneath the switches are the RGB LEDs. And because they're mounted all the way at the bottom, brightness levels are going to be dimmer than high-tier LED keyboards. For our interface, we have 4 large bars with blue LED indicators for numlock, scroll lock, caps lock, and Windows lock. And the Motospeed logo is cleanly on the right side of it and is very well placed that it's not distracting at all. We also have a whole bunch of function keys on the top of the F buttons that can be accessed with the function key. Also labeled are the controls to the LEDs on the delete button, insert button, home button, and arrow keys. This is indeed an RGB keyboard, but before we get into the lighting effects, let's do a quick sound test and an N key rollover test. So for the LEDs, we have our 9 default lighting configurations: static, breathing, spectrum cycle, reactive, wave, marquee, ripple, surround reactive, and spectrum wave. To operate the lighting effects, function insert changes the effect. Each effect has 7 colors to choose from, and you can change it via function delete. Some effects also have a random color effect, which is common in these keyboards. You can control the speeds of the effects via function left and right arrow key, and there are 5 levels of brightness and they can be controlled with function and up-down arrow key. There's also a custom light effect profile as well. When you click function 1 to 5, you have 5 default profiles for certain games, but if you press function home while on these profiles, the indicators will flash and then you can change the keys to whatever color you'd like. To save it, you just need to press function home again. And to reset all your lighting profiles, just press function escape and you'll have this wiping effect and all the things will go back to default. So that's all there is to the keyboard. A simple RGB mechanical keyboard that looks really clean and you can't go wrong there. Since we're done, let's move on to the second part of the combo, the mouse. At first glance, the mouse looks really dope. It's mostly matte black with a few accents of gloss black. And if you saw my previous mouse review, you know that having a pure black gaming mouse really hits the spot for aesthetics. Let's start with the cable. It's a regular cable with the Motospeed logo also embedded into the USB port. It's connected to the front of the mouse where it has this grill-like aesthetic that looks really clean and futuristic. This is an ambidextrous mouse, so lefties and righties can use them the same way. On the top, we have the soft matte plastic finish that's super soft on your fingers. On the palm region, we have the Motospeed logo nicely placed. We have a DPI button that's more textured and sturdy, and a good scroll wheel. As you can see, most of the center here is gloss black. Moving to the sides, we have grips that look like leather, but it's just a really grippy textured plastic, which is really nice. Everywhere else is glossy though. We also have our back and forward button. These buttons feel really sturdy, and I'll show you guys a quick sound test on all the buttons. On the bottom, it's really simple, just two large mouse feet and a sensor. The feet are actually matte, but there's a peelable protective layer on it. I prefer the layer on it because it kinda lets me slide the mouse more smoothly, but you can take it off for a more grippy experience. You've also probably noticed all the translucent parts around the mouse. The way they curve around the mouse is really cool because it separates the mouse into distinct sections. It curves down from the side, then wraps around the butt of the mouse, and it looks really nice. But you don't really see the butt end for the LEDs because it's covered by the point of the butt. This is an RGB mouse, and by RGB I mean it has an RGB LED, but you can only use 4 colors actively, which is kind of stupid. It is also stuck on breathing mode, which I personally dislike. I like having LEDs constantly on, and I find breathing mode to be a bit annoying. There are 4 active colors you can choose from, and they all correspond to the DPI number. Red is the lowest at 800 DPI, blue is at 1000 DPI, green is at 1600 DPI, and purple is at 2400 DPI. What I find super interesting is that if you leave the mouse alone for a while, the LEDs do a spectrum effect. It changes the color by itself, and the most interesting part is that it shows more colors than what you can actively use. You have normally 4 colors to choose from, but when it's on standby, you get 2 extra colors, yellow and turquoise. I don't know why they programmed it to be like this, but it's such a waste of an RGB LED, the fact that you can only choose 4 LED colors when you have the capability to do all of them. There are only 2 issues for this mouse. Because the main surface is such a soft matte finish, oil stains are bound to occur more easily than other mice. I don't mind the oil stains because my hands are always pretty sweaty at times, but it's just something that's bound to happen to everyone over time due to natural skin oil. The second issue is the DPI button. I have no idea why they decided to point it upwards with an edge, because of it I can't slide my finger from the left click to scroll wheel smoothly because it irritates my finger. If the button was smooth, there would be no issue. One thing to note about this mouse is that the scroll wheel is a bit stiff, and takes a bit more effort to scroll pages. Other than that, the rubber is pretty good for grip. All in all, this $60 keyboard mouse combo is pretty decent. For the keyboard, you get a decent body with a plastic build and a metal plate. You have the response time of 2 milliseconds, N key rollover, RGB lighting with a variety of effects to choose from, and mechanical switches. As for the mouse, it's a pretty high quality mouse despite it not having any braided cables or whatsoever, but it does have really tactile buttons and they're really responsive, as well as RGB lighting. You can only use 4 colors though, which is kind of a shame, but for this price point, you're getting a pretty good deal. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hopefully I brought a new piece of tech for you to consider when you're on a budget when buying gaming peripherals, and gave you all the details of what to expect when you're going to buy this keyboard and mouse combo. For $60, you're getting a great RGB mechanical keyboard, and you're getting an RGB gaming mouse. Although you can only use 4 colors actively, it's still a pretty good deal in my opinion. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe to see more detailed reviews just like this one. Click that bell to see a notification every time a new video pops up, and links to this keyboard mouse combo is going to be in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.